On my main account, my personal account, I trade the 15-minute, but because, I just want to get these accounts passed relatively quickly, I just went to the 1 minute and just did a quick 1 to 5. Very, very simple. Like what I did on an E8 account. The setups I usually take on the 15-minute are usually like 1 to 2s, 1 to 3s, but because I want to pass quicker, I just scale down to then get a higher risk to reward to pass quicker. I don't recommend doing this if you're just trading, normally, but because I just want to get as much money as possible, under management with these funded accounts, that's the way I'm sort of doing it. So I took this trade here, but the entry I actually got was up here. So in fact, I was actually risking 0.5% on this trade. So if I explain that, so normally the stop loss was 10 pips. So 10 pips on GU on a 200k account is obviously 20 lots, so $200 per pip. And then I actually got the entry at 619 there. We're only actually risking $1,000, which is 0.5%, and we took profit down here somewhere where it was a 1 to 10. But because we risked 1% of the 10 pips, not 1% of the 5 pips, we actually made a 1 to 10 instead of a 1 to 5 technically, because we only risked 0.5%. Technically, we could have just risked a full percentage on this 5 pip stop loss instead, but that wasn't really what I was looking for. And you'll probably see here, if we just put that back, the price, obviously we had these pullbacks, and I'm going to show you why the trade was still valid for me. So we obviously have this area here, which is, I know it's only the 1 minute, but my strategy is like fractal, so it can be used in any time frame. So that's why I'm comfortable just trading it on the 1 minute, on the 5 minute, or even like the 30-second. It probably works, but it's not really anything I'm into. I'd rather just trade on the 15-minute, higher time frames, for myself personally. So we had this area here, and I drew this across, and once this broke, I was like, okay, I'm confident in this trade now. Obviously we were like lingering around the entry, but that's fine, because let's say price worked in here, I didn't get the original entry, you would have got multiple entries anyway. A lot of my trades, you actually do get multiple entry opportunities if you miss it in the first place. And also this is the 1 minute, so that's probably why that happened. On the 5 minute 15, it probably would have just been one candle in the area. But when we actually got this close below here, a lot of people see price wick below their level, and then they're like, okay, it's still valid, still valid, still valid. They'll enter the trade, or they'll close out the trade, or whatever. I have to see bodies. I have to see a body close below this, the previous bit of structure. If we wanted to continue with this downwards trend, which obviously we can see, I wanted it to close below. And then what we got was a close below. And then when it pulled back into here, I was like, I'm not even worried now, because a lot of times you guys will probably see it. Like, let me find an example. Even this here, technically we closed below this area here with this candle here. So what this means is if we get a pullback, you're not as worried because we closed below the previous low in that area. However, this one is a bit different, because I could have just said, okay, a close below here would be nice, but this was the key area which I was looking for, the previous structure. So once we actually got close below here, obviously we had a big push down, and obviously this was like 1%, obviously a wick there. And then when price came back in, I was like, okay, this is perfect. All we need now is to consolidate in this area and then break down. And that's what we did. And I set my TP to 10k. I'll put a video up here of the trade actually hitting the TP, because I did a little screen recording of that actually happening. If I actually show you on here as well, you guys can see 210k GBP USD and the FTMO challenge. A lot of people in the comments are saying, yeah, but it's a demo account. Obviously it's a challenge. So like, if you don't know about funding, don't comment please, because if people in the comments are saying, oh, it's a demo account, he's a scam. I never said it was a real account. It's just, this industry is an absolute joke sometimes. So yeah, that's why I said demo account. It's a challenge phase.